Hello, lovers. Brenda Gabriel here, self-proclaimed fame PR queen. So I thought I would just jump on for the first time. I was actually dared by one of my friends to jump on and start doing live streams on YouTube. And I thought, do you know what? She's absolutely right. I should get out here and talk my ish. So here I am. And the name on everybody's lips at the moment is Aaron Pierre, right? After that spirit walk, which I have to say I didn't even realize was a thing until I saw his turn up on my feed on Facebook with the little AI person dancing along and doing the moves with him, I was like, oh my gosh, Aaron Pierre, yes, I know that face. And then I realized that it's the same guy that was in the film Old. I don't know whether you've seen it, but go and look it up anyway. But he looks completely different in this film. His name is Mid-Size Sedan, and he has like these little plaits in there, and he plays a rapper in this film. And I watched it a couple of years ago, didn't think anything of him at all in the film. I was just like, oh, he was a character in the film. And then all of a sudden, this Jennifer Hudson thing comes out, and I'm like, wow, who is this guy? Like, he looks fine, the eyes and everything, but then he's got the moves and he's dancing, and then just everything, absolutely everything about that moment. It didn't surprise me that it went viral because absolutely everything about it was perfect. The way that he was moving, the way he was dressed, the chant that they had behind him, all of that good stuff. So it was just awesome. So I thought I'd just go straight in there. So I'm here today to talk about, I'm a publicist. As I said, I am a self-proclaimed fame PR queen in terms of helping people get out there and become famous for doing what they do best, basically. I have a real passion for PR, and I am on a mission to ensure that PR and public relations is used, which is public relations, and publicity is used as a gateway for connection between people and also support. So those of you who don't know me, I am also an author. I wrote a book which was published last year about my brand of PR, and I started off by talking about Caroline Flack. So there's Caroline Flack. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of her, but she was a television presenter in the UK who took her own life, sadly, in 2020. She actually just lived round the corner from me at the time that took place, because I lived in a town called Stoke Newington, and she was round the corner, and her death really hit me hard. And I remember at the time thinking to myself, oh my goodness, and this wasn't about me, but at the time I was thinking, what if I'd have known her? What if I could have connected her with somebody who could have helped in some way? And I know it's a very, but bear with me on this one. So like I said, it wasn't about me, but what was happening at the time is I was actually working with somebody who was working in AI, in the field of AI, and was working on a technology, let's say, that could have helped, or that could be used by the NHS to help people who are suffering with mental health issues. It was a phenomenal, some of the stuff that AI is coming out with would absolutely blow your mind. But the person I knew was actually working on a tool. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my goodness, what if this tool had been out there? What if I'd been able to connect with Caroline in some way? And this, or the medical professional, whatever it was, and this could have been used. And it just got me thinking that, not to say, because as with anything in life, there are many reasons why things take place and many reasons why people make the decisions that they do. So this isn't about saying, you can stop someone's decision, but what it did remind me of, it was the importance of connection and being able to access the support that was needed. And I genuinely believe that generally across the board, there are times when all of us may feel that we could do with some sort of connection with somebody, or somebody that could help us in some way, or some sort of support, and that we can't access that. So for me, PR and actually getting yourself out there and actually promoting what it is that you do, or being able to access somebody, or any of that sort of stuff, is really important, is a really important aspect of PR for me. So for me, being famous or becoming a celebrity is a tool like any other. It's a really effective tool to be able to get out there and do those things. So that's where that comes from. But yeah, to go back to Aaron Pierre, um, so yeah, I wrote the book talking about that. And to go back to Aaron Pierre, I just find the whole rise of him just phenomenal and spectacular to watch. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. But I have really enjoyed watching his rise. So like I said, in 2021, he was in the film Old. I don't think the next thing I saw of him was Rebel Ridge, was him in Rebel Ridge, which is he plays, so he's British, and I didn't know this, and he plays an American character with complete with accent, an ex-marine, I think it is. And yeah, if you haven't watched it, I won't ruin it for you, but it's a great film. And I'm like, wow, this guy looks good. You know, he's fit and he's got everything working. And then the next thing I see of him is this spirit walk, you know, Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. You know, it's so catchy, right? That's the next thing that I see. And you know, and then the next thing I know, he's everywhere. He is literally everywhere. So he's the voice of Mufasa. I didn't know that. He's now the voice of Mufasa. There are videos galore, interviews galore, photos galore, you name it, it's all there. Now, this is the thing that I really wanted to tap into, because when this is something that I try and explain to people about PR. I always explain that PR is a long game. People always think that they can kind of jump into doing some PR activity, you know, getting themselves some interviews, getting into a couple of newspapers over like a couple of months, 3 months, 6 months, and then expect to have, like, you know, to become a household name. And it doesn't work like that. And Aaron Pierre is a fantastic example of why it's so important to just keep going. That man has been going obviously since before 2021, but that was when he kind of broke into the mainstream with the film Old. But if you imagine, since 2021, he's been on his grind, doing his thing, to the point where now at 2025, it's only in end of 2025, the whole world is getting to know his name. But what's really important to notice is it's not just 1 or 2 interviews that you can see of him. There is not just, you know, a couple of interviews. There's not just a couple of photos. There are tons of interviews. If you Google him, like, there are pages and pages and pages and pages of Google content of Aaron Pierre, so that we know who he is, right? And it's really important. This is something that I explain to people. It's really important to build up a back catalogue. So I'm going to split this into like 5 points. 5 things that we can actually learn from Aaron Pierre's rise. And point number 1 is to always be prepared, always be prepared to be famous or to go viral, even if you think it may never happen, even if you have no desire to go viral or for it to happen. Always be prepared just in case. And what do I mean by that? What does being prepared look like? I talk about what I like to call the Jesus factor, right? Jesus had a hook, a look, and a book. And I use this expression to talk about people becoming iconic, right? You need to have a hook, a look, and a book. So when I talk about someone like Jesus, right, his hook was he was the Son of God. Like, that's a pretty bloody big hook, right? He was the Son of God, and he had come down to, you know, basically help us create a pathway between us and God, you know, and all of that. So there was a pretty big hook there. His look, I don't need to tell you that if you close your eyes and I ask you to imagine Jesus, every single one of you will be able to do that, regardless of what version of Jesus you have in your head. We will all have one, right? So the look is a very distinctive look, whether it's the blonde sort of curly hair, longish hair, you know, to about here, the blue and the white outfit that he's wearing, you know, there's a look there, right? There's a look, and that's one of the things that makes him iconic. And then you've also got the book, which is the Bible, right? That is his body of work, in essence. That is everything that we know about him. And when it comes to putting ourselves out there in the public eye, we need to have the same thing, right? We need to have the hook, the look, and the book. So for me, for instance, my hook would be that I am fame PR queen, right? Like, I'm a publicist that specializes in helping people become household names and become famous. My look, you know, I am known to change my hair quite frequently, so there's always something going on with my hair. I am usually one of the most glamorous people who turns up to an event because that's just how I like to be. And my book, well, I now actually officially have a book, but I also have tons of content out there talking about the way I think about PR and the values that I have around fame and celebrity, etc. But I genuinely actually have a physical book as well. And if you look at Aaron Pierre, right, his look, how we went from he went from being mid-sized sedan with the plaits and whatever to being this sharp, green eyes on point. Sorry, are they green, blue? I'm not sure. They're greeny, bluey hazel, aren't they? On point, sharp look. He's got this, he wears the baggy trousers, the big shoes, like the jacket, his silhouette is down. Like, it's just on point. I don't know if you've seen him turn up at the was it the Louis Vuitton show? Oh my goodness, how amazing did he look, like done up to the night. He just serves, right? The look that he is giving now just serves. And the look can make all of the difference. Like, it literally can make or break your status as an icon. And if you think about the most iconic people, the Michael Jackson, Madonna, Marilyn Monroe, David Bowie, they all have very, very distinctive looks, right? So if you're actually thinking about getting yourself out there, it's really important to get the look down pat. And one of the things that I like to say is, if you can't dress up as you for Halloween, you've got work to do. So basically, if someone can't dress up as you, somebody couldn't take something from you, take the lead from how it is that you dress, how it is that you show up and dress up as you as Halloween for Halloween, then you've got some work to do. I mean, even my children will go and like grab a wig of mine or something, or grab some of my clothes and whatever, and they will dress up like me, and they will say, "Oh, look, mummy, I'm like you," because they I have a look, I have a distinctive look, and they go and do that. So that is one of the areas where Aaron is winning. And then obviously we've got so like I said, we've got the hook, he's the voice of Mufasa. There's also the celebrity, the slight celebrity hook there, in the fact that he's doing a film that the daughter of one of the most famous pop stars, or two of the most famous stars in the world, is doing as well. So that's Blue Ivy, and obviously her parents are Jay-Z and Beyonce. And regardless of all of the other stuff going on, Jay-Z and Beyonce are two of the biggest names in the world. So obviously being associated with that is helping his trajectory as well. And obviously Mufasa, the Lion King, is a massive franchise, so that's a big deal too, in terms of the hook that we've got, what makes him interesting. And then also, the Spirit Walk also added to the hook for him, right? Because everyone seems to know him off the back of that now. And then we've got the book, which in essence is his body of work. He's done so much of it. Like, he's been in multiple films. He's done lots of screen shows. There's lots of content you can find on him. Like, if you were to just find him today for the first time, you could be reading for days. And that's what needs to take place when you are trying to put yourself out there as a personal brand. People need to be able to find loads of content about you. They need to be able to binge on you, right? There used to be a saying that it only takes seven touch points in order to connect with somebody, or for somebody to buy from you. But in this era where we've got like video and TikTok and shorts and all of these other things, like, it's not enough. 7 points of contact is not enough for somebody to get a feel for you, because there are other people who will be doing so much more than that. Hi. There will be other people who are doing so much more than you are doing, and obviously, getting the clients, etc. So yeah, so that's that. So the hook, the look, and the book, we've got that down. And in essence, there was a massive transformation. If you go and look at a picture of him when he was in Old, or go and watch the film Old, versus what he looks like now, it is like night and day. And that is the difference that it can make. Like, he's gone from being somebody that people would pass in the street quite easily to being the name on every woman's lips, and obviously there's, he's not everybody's type, but he is a lot of women's type. And we've got all of this, is he or isn't he dating somebody? Is he single? And all of this speculation about his personal life off the back of this look, right? So that's point number one. Point number two is to have a plan for viral moments, which kind of goes back to point number one about having the hook, the look, and the book, right? Because if you're prepared in that way, then you are ready for viral moments. If you what happens after people find you? If you do go viral for this video, like if I went viral for this video, what would happen after that? People are going to go and look at my Facebook, they might look at my Instagram, and what are they going to find there? If you Google me, you're going to find that I've written articles, you're going to find that I've written a book. You may have no clue who I am as you come across me today on this video, but if you Google me after this, you will find information about me. And that's what you need to do for yourself as a personal brand. If you want to be taking your personal brand seriously, people need to be able to find you. So Aaron's PR team had prepared for this viral moment. That's not to say they knew he was going to go viral for the Spirit Walk, because the thing about virality is you cannot predict it. You can hope that it's going to happen. You may even think that it's going to happen, but much like PR, you cannot guarantee that it will happen. And as a result, all you can do is be ready and be prepped for it. And he was prepped. He was prepped in that he'd had a little dance to do as he was doing the walk. He was very authentic and genuine, and he has that smile, right, that everyone is, that makes everyone melt. He was dressed on point, and and then when it went viral, and that was it. And then he was ready to do the interviews. He was ready to sit on the next sofa and have the next interview, and he was ready for Fashion Week and to go and attend this, and he was ready. He was ready. Like, would you be ready if something happened? If you went viral overnight, would you be ready to take on the opportunities that come your way as a result of that? Many people would not. There are so many people who have gone viral and don't really have anything to show for it afterwards, and don't have any way of following up with that success in any way, right? And you don't want to be that person. So make sure that you've got a plan for when you do go viral, when or if you go viral. Right. Number 3, the other thing that we learned from Aaron is that authenticity wins always. You could not have scripted what took place for that viral walk. I'm sure he wasn't, I think Jennifer's team, when they come up, I don't know who's responsible for it, but somebody comes up with like the chant or the greeting that they're going to do for the Spirit Walk. There was no way of being able to say what was going to take place for that. They may have had a little bit of a plan. They may have told him, this is what we're going to say, but the walk, the smile, the everything, you could not have scripted it. Like, it was just on point. The smile, it made everyone melt. He was genuine. You could see that he was really enjoying himself, even as he's kind of saying his name along with the rest of them, because he's feeling the vibe, right? And this is one thing that I really love about our community, right? Like, we do know how to come out with like a chant. We do know how to like get down with the music and the vibes and the beats. And there was something very kind of hypnotic almost about the chant, Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa, slap, if we were clapping it, it's on beat, it's on the beat, right? And there was a joke that somebody was talking about someone who wasn't clapping on the beat during it, but it was like, it was there. We were like really feeling it, and we were in the moment, and like it living rent free in my head. I don't know about you guys, but that chant is still living rent free in my head. So yeah, the authenticity, everything about the authenticity of them delivering it and him actually walking, it all really, really worked, like I said, that was one of the reasons why it worked, because it was authentic. And he has gone on to be in interviews and prove that he is an authentic person. And he has a lot of worthwhile stuff to say. You can see that there is more to him than meets the eye. It's a lot deeper than, like, you can tell that. It's funny because I was having a joke with my friend last night that he is the kind of guy that you would have been told to stay well away from when you were younger, right? Because he's too nice and thinks he's too nice. The gorgeous guy with the gorgeous eyes that you'd be warned to stay away from. But you can see that with Aaron, that's not who he is. Like, he's not. Yes, he may be a good-looking man. Yes, he may be aware of the effect that he has on women, and that he is, women will go gaga over him. But you can see that there is so much more to him than meets the eye, right? He's not relying on that. He's actually really talented. He's actually passionate about what it is that he's doing. Like I said, it's just great, basically. Number 4, parasocial relationships matter. What is a parasocial relationship? A parasocial relationship is the relationship that we develop with somebody that they do not develop back with us, in essence, right? So all of these women who are falling in love with Aaron Pierre, he doesn't know you exist, right? He doesn't know any of us exist at all in any way, shape, or form. However, we are building a relationship with him through the content that we see of him, through the photos, through the videos, through everything, we are building our own relationship with him. And parasocial relationships are something that obviously we've seen a rise of, a greater rise. We've always had them, right? It's always been the parasocial relationships have been a thing ever since the beginning of celebrity, right? Fame and celebrity. But we've obviously increased the way that we are able to connect or feel connected to our favorite stars and celebrities and whatever via social media, and in the digital age, basically. So as a result of all of the content that we see out there about him, all of the interviews, all of the videos, we feel like we know him, right? He's talking directly into the camera, and for some of us it feels like he's talking directly to our soul. But yeah, in essence, we are building our own parasocial relationships, and he and his team will be aware of the parasocial relationships that women will be building with him via the other side of the screen, right? And I say that his PR team are absolutely genius for launching his career, or capitalizing on this virality that he's going through at the moment, by launching him without a partner. Now, no one on the planet appears to know whether he is dating or not, we don't know what his preference is. We don't even know if he likes women. We have no clue whatsoever about Aaron's personal life, and that is done on purpose. Why? Because it means that it allows us to build up ideas in our head about who Aaron Pierre is. We imagine that we could be in with a chance with him, that we may bump into him at an event or something, even though it's really highly unlikely to happen. We could bump into an event, and we could look into those eyes, and he could look into our eyes, and we could all fall in love. It's a bit, a bit extra, but in essence, that's what it's all about. That's why, he's been launched that way. And we probably won't see them mention anything about him having a partner for a while to come. We will be capitalizing on the parasocial relationships that his audience have built with him, in order to, keep the train running, keep the, I was going to say the dream train. That's not what I mean, but basically, like, keep the dream alive, in essence, right? So yeah, number 5. So the fifth thing that we've learned from the Aaron Pierre saga is that PR is a long game, which is where I started this video, right at the top anyway. PR is a long game. It is not something that is going to happen. No one is going to become famous overnight. Even if it looks like somebody goes viral or becomes famous overnight, it doesn't work like that. It really, really doesn't, in any way, shape, or form. Even the people that you see on Love Island, I like to use the example of people on Love Island or any of the reality TV shows, because I know what the back end of that looks like. Majority of those people, even Love is Blind, the majority of the people that are picked for these shows are found on social media as a result of the profile they are already maintaining. Right? This is the thing that a lot of people don't realize. So Love is Blind, the original one, which was done in Atlanta, with Cameron and Lauren, which we all loved, right? Well, who doesn't love Cameron and Lauren, right? They were found on Instagram via their Instagram profiles, and I think Lauren was doing something with social media anyway. And like I said, they had quite a lot going on with their profiles anyway, so they were able to be headhunted. Most people were, so they had quite visible profiles. They were doing stuff. They were out there. They, visually, they were studying. Visually, they were taking care of their appearance and all of that sort of stuff. It's no coincidence that everyone on Love Island looks amazing and has an amazing body. And that we're not talking amazing body like you just at home, you naturally look like that. We're talking amazing gym bodies, like they work out because looking good is part of their job. It always has been part of their job, whether they've been modeling, whether they've been doing a bit of acting. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It is part of their job. So this, what looks like overnight success, where, oh my gosh, they get this massive deal when they leave the house, is no, they've been working on that from time. They've been working on that from time. And so I want you guys to know that I've actually, and even I've had my own experience behind the scenes, because when I was younger, I wanted to get into modeling and stuff and TV. And I actually, I was going to say claim to fame. It's not really a claim to fame, but one of the TV experiences I had was I don't know if any of you guys will remember something called Hot Tub Ranking. It didn't last very long, but it was something that came up by Endemol, the same people responsible for Big Brother, because they love a bit of they love a bit of like reality TV. And I was actually picked to do a pilot. So they had like an idea of the show, and then I was picked to do the pilot for that. And so when I and again, it was because I was part of this website. I think it was Star Now, actually, where people who wanted to become celebrities, or get into acting or drama or music or any of presenting or modeling or anything like that, you could be on that website. So like I said, these people that you find on TV, very, very, very rarely are they people who have just been plucked from complete obscurity and made famous overnight. It doesn't work like that. Most people do have some sort of desire to be part of that world, and it's just a question of sort of if and when it's going to happen. When are they likely to get that? When will they be famous? Like Bros used to say, like, it's when will their moment arrive? And in the meanwhile, you've just got to prepare like it's going to happen anytime soon. So that's what I wanted to say on that. So, Aaron Pierre, we have been shown that PR is a long game, because he has been on his grind for time. It may be that we've only just noticed him in the past month or so, but he has been on his grind for a long time. And this is the precise reason why I suggest to people, when they come to work with me, that they work on a presumption of working on their PR strategy for a year to 2 years. You get people who say, can I do 3 months? Yes, you can do a 3-month project. And that may be okay for like an event or something. In fact, I'd even recommend longer for the run up to an event. And that may work for a very small project. But generally, if you are looking to build a serious personal brand and build relationships, long-term relationships with your audience, your PR has to be ongoing. It's really important for your PR to be ongoing. So yes, PR is a long game. And, the way Aaron has moved, and his trajectory just demonstrates the importance of doing that. And I just wanted to take this moment to say that there can be, sometimes it's so frustrating, to work with somebody who wants to throw in the towel quite early in the journey of PR, because they don't feel like things are happening as fast as they would like them to. PR is one of those things that compounds over time. It's a bit like interest, the way my dad used to teach me about interest. That thing where it's like, you can save £5. I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but there's an amount that you can save every month to become a millionaire on the basis of compound interest, right? So you can actually become a millionaire on a very average wage, based on the principles of compound interest. PR is exactly the same. So it's not the one article. The one article may help you, the one PR, the one interview, the one going viral spirit walk may be the thing that actually tips the balance in your favor. But in essence, what we are looking at is a longer term strategy, and it's every little piece, every piece on just sort of stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks, until one day you realize that you are a global superstar and globally famous, and everybody knows you and everybody wants a piece of you. And yeah, that's the dream for some people. It's not necessarily the dream for all of you out there, but it's the dream for some of you. And so I just wanted to take this time out to explain the importance of seeing PR as a long game, and also, how Aaron Pierre has demonstrated that, basically. So yes, this is my first video. It's a bit longer than I anticipated it would be, but I am happy to be here, and I can go and tell my friend now that I've done it, which is amazing. So let me know what your thoughts are on what I've shared today. If there's anything that you'd like me to talk about that's going on in the mainstream around celebrities or stuff, or you'd like to you'd like me to cover anything or address anything, or you want to ask any questions, please do let me know. I'd be absolutely delighted to do that. Thank you so much for your time tonight. For those of you who joined me live, I appreciate you. For those of you who are watching on the replay, let me know that you are watching on the replay. Let me know what your key takeaway was from this video, what you enjoyed, and what you would like me to cover in the future. And I would be more than happy to do that. But thank you so much for your time. Have a great evening, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.